Alright, I also wanted to show you guys some of the changes that have been made in the kitchen area. Remember, when you walk out the door, you have refrigerator, freezer, and my little shelf back there. That part really hasn't changed. Microwave, all that fun stuff. This is the counter where you usually see me doing my videos. But the big change is right here. I will show you what that looked like before. Camp Chef stove that I do most of my stuff on. We picked up these cabinets at a garage sale. They were brown and ugly, and I still have to finish painting some of them, as you can see. There, of course, you keep getting a glimpse of the TV there because my desk sits right behind this cabinet right there. And we built this cabinet. Just a little shelf in the bottom, two little drawer. They actually just open up this way. And when I did these, my Ninja usually sits right here, but I was using it yesterday. But I purposely left this part down here without a door, mostly so that if I needed to open the door, I wouldn't have to move any of the stuff out of the way here in order to open those doors. And the one thing you have to understand about this kitchen out here is I don't have a whole lot of cabinet space. Anybody who does a lot of canning and preserving knows there's a lot of equipment involved between, you know, the dehydrators and the canners, the water bath, the pressure canners, your jars, you know, I mean, lids and rings and just everything. These two cabinets here usually house some jars, plus I have a shelf over by the shed that is full of jars. But there's just not room for everything. So bottom line is, this kitchen is never going to look, you know, tidy and organized and everything like a kitchen in your house would look. But it is organized enough and I have a place to put things. I mean, I keep my lids and stuff in here, my jar lids and my seal-a-meal bags and, you know, just all of that kind of stuff. My Tatler lids, whatever, all inside there. And I have one of my extra, it's actually a tamale pot that I use for water bath canning sometimes, dehydrator and all that fun stuff. And of course in these cabinets, like in this one over here, I keep mixing bowls and things like that for when I'm making jellies or whatever. This part up here has like my citric acid and, you know, some of the stuff used for making cheeses and just that type of stuff up there. Behind this towel right here is where I keep my kombucha. I have a shelf across there, and that's to keep the light off of it. And of course the microwave. And then this cabinet has my clear gel and Pomona's pectin, because I buy all that stuff in bulk, so there's several jars up in this small cabinet. And then of course more canners and stuff here. Down in this shelf that's covered up right here is some jars of juice that I use for making my kombucha, And then the bottom two shelves are full of cast iron everything. And then of course these bottom cabinets have pans and you know, the restaurant pans, the big ones, and just that kind of stuff all in those. And then I have this one set of drawers over here for canning utensils and, you know, gadgets. Everybody knows you have gadgets everywhere. Even in these shelves I have things like the food mills, and I mean, that's what I mean by this will never be tidy out here like it would be if it was my inside kitchen that everybody sees. This one is just for me to be able to do my canning and preserving without being in the way in the kitchen. And then of course I do have a few decorative items or things that I don't use as often. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the little cabinet that we built. I know it's been a while since I've been on here, but you know, we had Thanksgiving and we had Christmas, and then very cold weather. Well, cold for us. We don't get snow or anything. I'm in California, so. But it was very cold, and it was really hard to do anything. But I'm going to try and get back on track now. Try and do at least one video a week, preferably more, but I'm going to do what I can. And then I will take you out and show you what's going on in the garden. Hey guys, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update what I got going on in my garden. See on the back side of me here is my chicken coop, so I'm standing at the very edge here, and I have garden going on both sides. This is along the fence line. I just have like a little 4-foot fence. I pulled all the old plants and all that stuff out a couple of weeks ago, covered them with paper bags and with cardboard, all that fun stuff. Start getting ready. Did the same thing. Got 2 more over here. This one has some blackberries that I had to transplant. They were on the other side where the geese are. They kept getting into them, so I just transplanted those about 2 weeks ago, hoping that they'll take off. I have some asparagus down on this end that I got to trim off and clean up and put some mulch around it and get it ready. And then on this side, this is the side that I have my trellis on this year. I usually flip it back and forth between this one and the one over there. So that way I'm not growing the same thing in the same spots every year. Walk around to this side. This fence we just put in over the summer. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I'm going to do for garden beds along the fence line. But I'm not made of money, so I can't, you know, ideally I would love to have Vigo garden beds. If I could afford it, I would have those everywhere. I'd rip out the middle, replace those. I would get towers and all that kind of fun stuff and have this looking really nice. But for now, I'm probably going to have to work with pots and some things that I have around the house to do this edge for this year, until I can figure out a cheap way to make some garden beds along this fence line. Now these beds are, the one in the middle on both sides is about 4.5 feet wide. Same thing on this one. And this one is about 16 foot long. The ones on this side are about 18 feet long. The ones along the fence are about 2.5 feet wide. And that's where I was standing at the beginning of this. The chicken coop is on the back side of that bench. And just outside the gate is where I have the ducks and geese are over there. My husband had to put this little fence going across because I can't do anything with the compost or anything like that without the geese attacking me. They love my husband, but they will attack me. So he put that fence up so that I could be working on this side where the compost piles are over there and not have to worry about the geese. I have 3 roosters in there. One more I think I'm going to add to it, maybe 2. We're going to be getting rid of those. Right in front of it there is an apple tree. This here is a pluot tree. Over there is 2 pear trees. My husband is, you can hear the chainsaw probably over there. The neighbor's trees along the fence line. I don't know if you can see anything over there. They hang over our side of the fence and create quite the mess. So he is trimming the part that hangs over on our side. The neighbors are good about it, so that's not a problem. And here in a little bit, I will walk out there and show you the other part of the yard, just because I know I did a tour before, but things change. Our mindset's changed a little bit, so I'll show you what we got going on over there. Not a whole lot yet, but we do have some plans. And I don't know if you can see, today my husband has been dry fitting for the pond. He's going to create some rock terrain, steps, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, if I'm talking, the geese are squawking. Anyway, going up to the side of the pond. But right now he's just trying to get the sizing down so that he's going to put a drain in it and all that fun stuff. Run water over there. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea what's going on right now. And like I said, why I don't film a whole lot out here. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to have to figure out something. Because the geese just won't be quiet if I'm out here. Right now I'm standing on the far side of the fence so that they can't see me and can't hear me quite as loud. But if I'm anywhere near them, you can't hear me. So anyway, give you an idea. That's what's going on right at the moment. I'm trying to figure out my water situation. Been testing my soaker hoses to make sure they don't have a bunch of holes in them. I did have to throw one of them away so that I know what I need to replace and get that part figured out, because it's what is it, January 22nd, something like that. I'm able to start planting in my garden around the 1st of March, which means I've got to get some seeds started. So I was trying to get an idea of what I have, what I'm going to do along this fence line, so that I know how much space I have, so I can figure out what I'm going to plant and get some seeds started. So anyway, that's it in here, and like I said, I'll take you around and show you the other part here in just a little bit. Alright guys, so this is walking out our back door, then walking out of the enclosed patio. To my left, this is supposed to be my little herb bed. I have some cilantro in there that has overwintered pretty good. I threw a couple of green onions in there the other day, or a couple weeks ago actually. But my husband has put a bunch of stuff in there, so I don't even know if I have room for herbs now. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. And then we have this little arbor thing that my husband made out of tree logs. A cinder block in the bottom. Has a grapevine. And that little pepper tree is the one that has been overwintered. I believe this is the 3rd time now. So it's a I guess technically 4-year-old pepper plant. Comes back every year. And then from the door, if you go to the right, you'll see the little barbecue area. And my husband's doing a bunch of work, so he's got tools everywhere. And then if you walk out and continue to the left, this enclosure, we have sulcata tortoises, but they're inside their house right now. 2 of them. And that is the chicken coop. And then if you go to the left side after walking out the door, I think the last video I showed you had the 2, I think they were orange and blue, or green and blue, planter boxes. One had an apricot tree and one had a, oh, what was the other one? Nectarine. Both of those trees died. There's no more nutrients left in this soil. And the wood was rotting. So my husband cut the trees out, took the wood off, and I'll probably throw that dirt in the bottom of the new beds that I'm making in the garden. So those are going away. Those are the trees that were where my husband was cutting. I think I showed you. And that is a lemon, dwarf Meyer lemon with a kumquat. And inside here, can't see them right now, is aquatic turtles, which my husband's getting ready to redo that. I have a peach tree right here. That's a fig back there. Then this is another arbor thing my husband made with some grapevines and stuff. Then we go to the back corner. We have another grape there. And an orange tree. I believe that's navel oranges. This bed my husband tries to use for greens, kale and spinach and things like that to feed to the sulcata tortoises. That is a plum tree back there. That's another arbor with more grapes. This one here is it's a nut tree, but I can't remember what kind. Pecan. See my little tag there. That's the grapes. This is a golden delicious apple tree. And that one right there is a pomegranate. And for some perspective, back there is the garden, and I was pointing out to you where the ducks and geese and chickens are. So this is the roosters, ducks and geese, and again my husband working on the pond. So as you can see, we have a lot of space that we can still do things with. I mean, we still keep somewhat of a yard area for the dogs, and we still have people who come for, you know, Easter and things like that, and we like to have some space that's just regular yard. But I have a lot of space, especially along that fence line and all of this stuff back down here, where I can put in some more garden beds and things like that. So anyway, just an update. That's what's going on. We'll see how far we get this year.